Hey guys, welcome to Pajama Let's Play. I'm Michelle, host of Pajama Let's Play, where we talk all things Kingdom Hearts. I am still a little bit sick, so my voice is still going to be a little bit off, but today I'm going to talk about how to defeat darkness and what the Master of Masters plan might be now that I'm re-watching the series. But before we get into that, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. You can check out my Patreon or leave a tip via PayPal. All of those things are in the description box down below. As always, there will be spoilers, so heads up there. This is going to be an updated version of the video linked here about defeating darkness by healing it, but it's different enough that it does get its own video. As y'all know, I'm rewatching all of the cinematics for all of the Kingdom Hearts games, and Birth by Sleep has some interesting tidbits about the nature of darkness. I'm trying to get away from including screen grabs for cinematics, but for this video, I think it's better to go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. This scene, right at the beginning, between the fairy godmother and Aqua.
As I feared, there's darkness here.
Wait! It's dangerous to fight the darkness with light, my dear.
Who are you?
Cinderella's fairy godmother. I appear to those who believe that dreams come true.
Then I'm honored. But why would you advise me not to fight darkness with light?
Strong rays of sun create dark shadows. Sadly, Lady Tremaine and both her daughters are jealous of Cinderella's charm and beauty, qualities that appear to you as light. Jealousy is darkness. Light and dark go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other.
Then, what should I do?
It's quite simple, dear. One of Cinderella's friends is trying very hard to keep her light from fading. I want you to join little Jacques and help him.
So it's a pretty short clip, but the fairy godmother says it all right there. You can't simply fight the darkness with light because it will only cast stronger shadows. She also mentions that Cinderella's friends are trying to prevent her light from fading. I'll get back to that, but keep it in mind. The Master of Masters has also backed this up, as well as a few others. We know the darkness cannot be defeated as long as it's incorporeal. So the going theory is they must find a way to force the darkness into a physical vessel. That's still certainly possible. But then why lock them up in the data world? Until I started watching Birth by Sleep, my primary theory agreed with most of you. The darkness entities are bound within the resilient hearts of the new Union leaders, the Master of Masters, and his apprentices, so that they can have a physical battle to destroy them. But again, a primary theme of the series is you cannot destroy darkness without also destroying light. So what can be done? This is where that bit about Cinderella's friends come in. Instead of fighting Lady Tremaine, they focused on giving Cinderella strength, basically expanding her own light. If we think about it in a real world 3D context, the best way to eliminate darkness is to spread light. And I think that's what the real plan is for the Master of Masters. Brighter light casts stronger shadows, but if you turn on all of the light sources in a dark space, the darkness decreases to the point where it's barely noticeable as small shadows. We have the Princesses of Heart, the Guardians of Light, and the various heroes going around to all of the worlds they can to solve problems and heal the worlds. The light is being expanded in the series through acts of compassion, kindness, and self-sacrifice, and the examples are endless. Every time Sora thinks he's saved the world, he always comes back to find more heartless nobodies. Now even the unversed have returned in Kingdom Hearts 3. The darkness isn't eliminated, but rather suppressed. The only way I see for the darkness entities to be physically destroyed is for them to have a body of their own free will. I'm not convinced it can be done through trickery, because then it's fighting darkness with darkness, and that goes against so many themes of the series. So a competing theory I now have, because I do still want to trust the things that were told in the various games, and they seem to think giving darkness a physical form is enough, but perhaps the true plan of the Master of Masters is to bind the darkness entities in hearts which are able to resist falling to darkness, just as they said in Union Cross. But instead of fighting it, perhaps it's with the intention of keeping them immobilized and unable to expand in that form. Then the Master of Masters just needs to wait for a time when the light is so permeated in the different worlds that the darkness cannot take hold in that reality. With the Princesses of Heart and the Guardians of Light all spreading not only their own light, but strengthening the light in others, there won't be any hearts for the darkness entities to take. And that is no easy task. Not only does everyone need to wait for a time to safely release the darkness, they also have to ensure the worlds are going to be strong enough to produce circumstances to resist the darkness. It makes sense to me that by strengthening the hearts and light of people, they in turn strengthen the light and hearts of the world they live on. If it gets strong enough, maybe there won't be any hearts for the darkness entities to take, and it could even encourage them into taking a physical form once again. Right now, the main reason they don't have physical bodies seems to be because it's easier to expand through the hearts of others, so take away that option and the darkness will have to adapt. By that point, the Master of Masters should have all of his pieces in place to be able to enact his big plan, whatever that ends up being. I'm not sure if all of this came across very well, but it seems to me that the characters who knew the most about darkness and light do not expect to defeat it through physical force. And I'm not sure we should be putting all of our eggs in that basket either. What I do know is that darkness cannot stay bound forever. Their plan seems to revolve around taking a physical form, and they plan to expand to the point of overpowering the light. So whatever the plan is for the Master of Masters, those are things he's going to have to overcome, and perhaps fighting will only increase the strength of darkness. We fight for many reasons, but most fights dominate their enemy and in a sense force their own will, which toes the line of light and dark. I don't think that's a guaranteed way to make sure the darkness stays away from the light, and in fact is likely to increase the darkness in the hearts of those fighting. They will have more traumas from those battles, their light becomes more of a dominant force, and anyone they lose will increase their bitterness. And, generally speaking, a warrior seeks to increase their power, and the lust for power is often referred to as a source of darkness for the series. Battle just sounds too risky for me, so perhaps the true plan is to spread the light in people's hearts to the point that darkness can't take a real hold anywhere, and will be forced to stay in the shadows. So what do you think? How do you think they can actually defeat the darkness entities? Will spreading the light be enough? Tell me all about your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. You can check out my Patreon or leave a tip via PayPal. All of those things are in the description box down below. Until next time.